Hey guys, how's it going? All right, welcome to our craft room tour. All right, let's open the door. I'll give you kind of a brief pan around and we'll kind of get back to this. It's rattling on the door, so let me shut that. Okay, so on the door, I just have a shoe rack and full of little, bits and bobs you kind of need. It's changed a little bit since the last tour. I probably put up shelves since then. It's about it, I guess. But I have some of the Bygel rods up for my punch storage. And so I did get rid of quite a few punches and destashed them. So I do have a couple extra now, so I'm excited. I want to get some of the little hangers like I kind of have like up here and hang a little cutesy stuff. My buddy Shirley made me this little sign here. And this broom I got at a craft festival. They hand carve everything and they kind of get involved with the wood, and the wood tells them, the spirit of the wood that wants to come out. So that's what they carve into it. So really cool there. Where do I start? Okay, so let's just start down here. I use these things. These are like refrigerator bins and the little plastic, things to store them on. I usually cut whatever brand or something it is and put it in the back. This happens to be stamping related stuff and bees. I don't have that one labeled because I'm not sure about it yet. I don't know if that's the way I'm gonna keep it. A lot of them I do have labeled, a few I don't, if I'm still unsure. I have these little 12 by 12 scrapbook drawers on the bottom. So this one is just any type of, if there's a particular drawer that you want me to go through, just let me know. But, or not drawer, but, container if you want to see the stamps or something. But I can't show all these because we'll be here for 6 hours. Nobody wants that. I just wanted to give you a brief little tour because I had some company recently and my table's cleared off. I've got to get back to making Halloween cards, so this is as clean as it's going to get for a little bit. But anyway, so we got wood and just different backgrounds, bricks, anything that is a background I put in here. Same thing with here. These are all backgrounds as well. And hang on, let me go over here. Okay, so these are more funny type stamps. All those little funny bones and things. Underneath is, some of those are like project drawers, and a couple store the extra envelopes and things. Now these are the only wood-mounted stamps I have left, this line of Stamp-O-Two. There's a few more maybe, but not many. So I don't know. I don't want to unmount them, but I can't pull all these out because I can't bend down and film at the same time. Anyway, but yeah, that's what most of the drawers here are, just random projects. Like that's a drawer of tape, just kind of extra supplies. Here are women's stamps, kind of mainly Dina Wakley stuff. This is pretty much, well, it's pretty much, I think this is any company. Look at different ones there, just whatever. These are all Unity stamps. Those three down on the bottom are all like winter related. Coming up here, there is a summer. I'm really excited to get my summer stash down to one box. So excited. Can't say the same about butterflies. I'm slightly butterfly obsessed, so there are 2 containers of butterfly things. This is animals, like bears, and I put bees on there, but now I can't fit the bees in there. Owls and whatnot, moths, things like that. This is clocks, steampunks, gears, keys, just, anything that relates to, any of that. I can't pull them out. They're in there kind of tight, so then we've got a bin for dogs and cats and all the things. One for just birds. I love birds. one for words and sentiments, and that's just pretty much, you know, all it is, just various, any kind of little sentiments you can think of. Then I've got paper artsy and visible image stamps in there. These two are flowers. This one is all Alta New stuff, and this one is just, you know, it can be Simon Says, it can be anything. So, and then this is the women goddess type stamps section. This is like anything to do with celestial stuff, you know, anything with moons and stars and that kind of thing I put in there. Here is mushrooms, Alice in Wonderland, aliens. Have a wide variety of stamps or stamp interests, I guess. This I don't have labeled because I'm not sure I'm going to keep that. It's all trees right now. Y'all know I love trees. This one is circus stuff, kind of boho things. It's a little bit of everything too. There's some fantasy type stuff in there. And then down here, this one is like a masculine set. So you'll see trains and fishing and, you know, that kind of stuff there. Let me step back a little bit here. Okay, so up top, I've got Lavinia stamps. And this is still animals, but this is like chickens and cows and barnyard animals. The Heartfelt Creations stuff, I've got quite a bit of their line. Sad they closed, but this is Get Well, Sympathy, stuff like that. This is a birthday box, coffee and tea, Valentine's and spring down there. So now I'll step back and show you at the very top my weirdness, right? Just little skulls and whatnot that I enjoy. And okay, so now let's see. I'm gonna try not to move too fast, but okay. So we're gonna go over here. Back up and give you a little bit better view. Okay, so up there are crows and moons and whatnot. I did clear out, so up here, this is so exciting, I have 2 empty storage containers. This is the polished stuff, little paints, dilution spray, a couple of containers of alcohol ink down there. This is like all the powdery type stuff. What do you call that? You know, the Lavinia Dinkles, and Unity had some different ones. This is more of the Pearlex stuff. This is like paste, I guess, pretty much. Dina Wakley's gloss spray, some jelly plates and reinkers, some embossing powder, and this is the little thing that I keep my stash builder stuff in, and each time it's that month I just pull out the next one in line. So these are Distress Oxide sprays, and I've got the spray stain and the mica stain. I do love some good sprays. I got some oxide ink pads, some other like grit paste and solar paste and things like that. And this is some colored pencils and little rub-ons and different things like that. Moving down here, I've got just, this is like a little IKEA cart full of kind of extra cards, things like that. This is my Big Kick, which is the machine I use the most. So I may end up moving some of these other machines out, I don't know, and just kind of keep that one handy. I'm trying to decide for sure what I use the most. But so this is embossing folders, these 3. I realize I do have an embossing folder problem, I know that, but I really do like them. So this is a box of stencils, and then these 3 containers here are all dies. I try to keep them, the green things are, I'm gonna put like a file folder tab thing on there, but like, so this would be like random shapes, or I've got, well, you can't even see that, a section for backgrounds, one for circles, one for squares, you know. These are more flower dies and different things like that. Dies that kind of don't have a home. If it's like moons or stars or something, I'll put it over with the celestial, but these are sort of anything goes, right? These are all word dies, or, you know, phrases, just any kind of word stuff. The old Sizzix big shot dies, or big kick, or whatever they call them. It's like the super thick ones anyway. And then I've got the Gemini. That's the machine that I really wanted so bad, but now I really don't use as much because I pretty much use the big shot if it cuts smaller things. I need this if I'm scrapbooking and I have to cut out larger things, and I use this. That's about the only time. And then y'all know I got that the other day, my little creepy clown book. Okay, moving down here, have every inch of space used. It's just extra cardstock and things like that. Is that gonna pull out? This is, you know, I bought ink storage for those tiny little ink pads. Then again, just same thing over here. In the drawers, I have just like clay things and little molds and whatever. That's a heavy drawer. Extra markers and watercolor stuff, and, you know, stuff like that down there. So then moving, well, I guess we'll start up here. Okay, so my weirdness up there, things I like. Then scrapbook storage, ribbon, paints. I thought I was going to do for Stash Builder the other day. I created myself a little box of like holiday cards I wanted to do, but then I didn't do them, so there they are. I might do it next time. Some glitter, a pasta machine for the clay. Now all of these, well, except there are little sponges, but all of these here are just organized by color, and it's just like fluff for the card, I guess you could say. So they're, you know, it's like doilies and buttons and stars and flowers and, you know, pressed flowers, but all sort of in the color family that they would go in, so I can find things easier. But just things to doll up a card, I guess. And then down here, I have cardstock, probably enough to do me until I die. But, you know, I have been a super shopper in the past. I'm trying to work on that now. So, anyway, so I organize it by color just to be able to find it easier. I also keep some in that little tower right there, all the extra. Down here, I keep like kind of like mixed packs and specialty paper. And this, I have to show you all this. I love this. My buddy Misty made me that, and to be honest, I always leave it here. I'm never going to use that because I just like it so much, but I might as well just frame it and put it up on my shelf because, yeah, I just like it. She does have a video on it. Check out her channel if you want to see that. Anyway, okay, I said extra cards here, those little pads of paper there, this is just all stencils, scrapbook paper, more like collage paper, that kind of stuff on the bottom, scrapbooks, scrapbook pads, some canvas, just little glues and extra stuff. Here's the cardstock I use the most. This is a thinner, this is a little bit heavier weight, and then that 3D puffy tape, whatever, that drives me crazy. That roll, it's so hard to peel off, so it just sits there. You know, like a cream ivory color, some black and kind of craft, I guess, some moss, just random things, watercolor stuff, this and that. Okay, so coming on around. I have a dream cutter. You just pop like a whole sheet in there, go like this way, and it cuts it out card size, so I love that. This is like hot glue guns and things like that. This I'm super excited about. This I got this summer. So when you guys heard me talking about my marker storage from Amazon or whatever, this was it. I got this too, actually. This holds my archival ink pads, but it is actually a cell phone holder, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, so I organized my markers by color family, and I even had more room down here, so that's cool. I got to put like little brushes I use the most, and Wink of Stella, and paint kind of brush things, and those Lavinia brushes, so I love that. I use my Misty all the time. I've recently just started using this glass matte kind of thing, so I'm enjoying that. This I'm going to get labeled soon, but this is all the Distress ink pads, so that's really cute, and it makes it handy where I actually use them a lot more. I kind of want my markers down here, maybe move this there, so we're working on that. But this is just where I video, so this is like the craft chair, and so my card's here, and this little thing is what I use to hold my camera. And anyway, I've got 2 mugs here of just kind of my most used scissors and things like that, and little brushes or whatever. And I've got my most used sprays, the stuff I use for splatter, things like that. And then I've got this ink pad container. I have labeled these, although they're not, it's kind of like this, they're kind of popping off, so I don't know if it's going to be enough sticky, but these are all the Versifying Claire inks, which I adore, and so I can just find the color much faster. These are the Elements inks from Lavinia, and then a few random things up there like alcohol pads or StazOn or an embossing pad, something like that. I usually keep a container out of whatever projects I want to work on next. In this case, it's Halloween, which will be probably tonight or tomorrow. So, preview for that. And then this, hang on a second. Just gonna sit down to show you these drawers here. I'll show you my very first ever stamp. This was her, and I used her to make, she's really old. Where's she from? Let's see. Isla Art, I don't know. Anyway, she was my first, and I used her to make stationery. So, and then here I just I have a few stamps, some extra glue. This is just what I'll tape, you know, dies or something on. It's like the tape that I really don't like. But anyway, so there's that. I keep the little like ribbon buff kind of gold or silver or whatever color, some stickles. This is my bling, and anyway, on down there is basically the same thing. Okay, let's go up there. So from here, I also have a shoot problem. Yes, I know this. I put up my Crow Lady pictures and my Hecate picture, and then all across here. So this one is fall, and all these are Halloween. Y'all know I love my Halloween stamps, so I've got those sorted by. So I've got Halloween dies in this first one, then just witches, crows, skulls, things like that. And then these are more backgrounds, so you could use them for any Halloween related things or apothecary stuff. Can't remember what that one is. This one is like cats and pumpkins and that kind of thing. So let's get ourselves back up and head over there. So I just, I keep my Towers of Terror here, over here. that's pretty much all. Well, it's all holidays. So there's winter holidays and spring and whatever. And then this one is all Halloween, which I can show you that because I know I've got some Halloween lovers on here. This is just like random stuff. This is like steampunk little things and keys and, you know, gears and things like that. This is kind of the steampunk type paper, you know, just little things I might use for that. I do enjoy steampunk quite a bit. Any kind of steampunk stuff there. More clocks and just gears and whatever. Keys. This is pretty much all bricks, I think, and some wood stuff. This is more of the astrology and nature little specialty kits. I'm not going to go through all these. I want to do a Scorpio page for myself, so I'm kind of gathering up some stuff there. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this is a scrapbook drawer, that family stuff I want to do about my mother. I think that is too. That is my boyfriend and me. This is like travel themes and stuff I want to use for travel scrapbooking. That is 2. This is the beach stuff and seahorses, and so I want to do some beach pages. I think that's all beach stuff too. Yeah. Anyway, it just keeps going, but you get the point. So for Halloween though, we'll show you. Well, I'll show you. I've got the little labels on. I did handwrite the labels. I do have a label maker, but I don't know yet. It's like I'm not totally committed, so yeah, just kind of gotta wait. These are full to the brim, so can't really flip through, but if you want some sort of, like I said, a drawer or a certain stamp, something flip through, just let me know. But different Halloween things. That's a little hard to open. These are just bits and bobs, like, you know, candles and candle stands and black cats and tarot cards and whatnot. The Tim Holtz windows and doors, which you're going to see coming up real soon. Some eyeballs and, you know, just Halloween things. And it just keeps going forever. Anyway, I'll stop there. But yeah, on over here was the, I put monsters, spiders, vampires, bats, all that here. And then, so you've got like the kitty cat section, the zombies and things like that. But overall, okay, sorry to spin you around. But yeah, anyway, y'all, that is my little craft room. So, I don't know, I would love to see yours and see what kind of crafty goodness you come up with. I would love to decorate in here and have one of those pretty white rooms that lots of people have. It's just never gonna happen. It's just not. But yeah, maybe someday, who knows. But for now, this works, and I get some things done occasionally. So it is what it is. And all right, guys, back to Halloween crafting. Talk to y'all later. Bye.